Hello, 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 and welcome back to Lake of Voices. Last time, we got separated from the group after a strangely emotional argument between Bemele and the guide. The guide showed some character development. I was really happy about that. And then the bridge between Bemele, the guide, and myself fell apart, and I jumped backward instead of forward. Not that I was given a choice. And the bridge basically became unusable. It fell apart. The gap was too large for me to jump across, so I had to go back the way I came to look for a path west. So we did. Kika got a little spooked by the sound of the chattering Nixie, and then we came across a prowler that had come out of the water and is now following us. That's exactly where we left off. So let's jump right in. Well, before we do, okay, so like I guess it would be the right side of their face, but for us it's the left. Looks like part of the Black Panther mask, doesn't it? Anywho, let's go. I focus my view back ahead and continue to run. Hold on, let me save real quick. Because OBS has been weird lately. My breathing rapidly becomes ragged. I can still hear the squishing footsteps of the prowler behind me as it lunges its body forward in that unnatural gait. Without warning, the bridge lurches to one side. Ooh, look at this artwork. Catching me. This is really nice. Again, I don't know what's going on with this shirt. Catching me completely off guard, I lose my footing and slam onto the damp surface of the bridge. My light falls with me, painfully Oh, that's bad. Splashes and the excited stirring of many voices come from the lake. How? Why? Is it rotting? Or did they push the support beams? I'm left with no time to ponder the mystery as the monster draws near. I scramble back onto my feet as it closes in. Grabbing my dark lantern, I resume running to put some space between us again. I open the latch on the lantern and pull out a match. I'll have to slow down, at least briefly, to properly light the flame without it blowing out. With death still on my heels, I must not let one precious moment be wasted. Set on my plan, and with everything in hand, I begin to decrease my pace. Moving as fast as I am capable, I place a lit match inside the lantern, and the oil catches fire. As the flame grows, I can hear the awful footsteps behind me begin to peter out. I steal a glance behind me. It has truly stopped. The return of light seems to catch it off guard, and thankfully, it declines coming closer. What are you doing? Get out of there. After a moment's reprieve to breathe, I rush forward once more. Fighting isn't an option, and I need to get away from that monster. I am not able to run fast enough, however. I let out a loud scream as the prowler latches onto my body from behind. I'm thrown to the ground again. The shock is great, and the lantern slips from my hands, skidding across the bridge out of my reach. Because it came in contact with the light, the prowler drops back into the depths without attacking again. There is no time to feel relieved. Arms of another Nixie emerge from the water and reach up the side of the bridge, scraping the boards as they try to get to me. Good lord! I try to climb onto my feet, but one of the creatures takes hold of me before I can properly stand. I'm dragged back down to the ground, my jaws smacking hard against the bridge as the Nix blindly pulls me towards the edge. Other slimely clawed hands grab onto me as I jam my nails hard into the crevice of the bridge. I kick frantically at their silhouettes, but they keep pulling me closer to the edge. I curl my fingers around the uneven wood tighter. Despite all my effort, there is no support. My bloody, splintered fingers come loose. Oh, come on. Water engulfs my vision, heavy and cold. So thick I can't hear my own thrashing. I try to grab my sword to fight back, but I can't even get it out of the hilt. The resistance against me is all-encompassing. Something grabs my arm, and then my waist. I get pulled from side to side, or further down, first one way and then another. The water feels like a solid substance, and being dragged against it feels like I'm being pressed through something. My vision grows darker and darker. I can't tell whether I'm going lower or whether I'm losing consciousness. My arms flail to bring me closer to wherever the surface is, but nothing is working. Complete darkness engulfs me. Was everything I've done worth it? I must believe that it was. Okay, well, we died there, so, I'm really glad we saved. Okay, so I guess we were supposed to stare it down. Yeah. See, I would have died in real life there because I wouldn't have stared you down. Come on. So I guess we gotta turn around and be like, hey boy, staring contest time. I managed to calm my mind down from the commotion and recall what the guide said when we first encountered a prowler. You don't have to run or fight it, you only need to keep moving while keeping an eye on it. I can't keep on running forever, and doing so only seemed to invigorate them further. Ah, okay. See, I didn't remember that. I fix my stare on it forcefully as the creature recoils from my relit lantern. Moving at a steady but brisk pace, I continue forward, making sure to check behind me often. So, let me say something real quick before we proceed forward. So, if I die, of course I'm gonna reload so that I myself as the main character can make it to the end. But if a character dies that's not us, I'm just gonna keep moving forward without them. I feel like starting over and over to keep everyone alive is a bit cheap, but I myself want to see how this game ends. So we're gonna make sure to keep Kika alive. It creeps at a distance, however the thing makes no more dramatic attempts to engage with me, choosing only to lurk. I'm set on edge by its presence, but in a way it's strangely beneficial. It makes it harder to get lost within my own mind with the tension in the air so high. Reaffirming my goals, I go down bridge after bridge. Making my way to what I can only hope is the way out. Eventually the prowler halts at the precipice of one of the branches. Frustrated, it paces back and forth on the border as though something is physically stopping it from going further. I decide to take that as a good omen. The journey of mine returns to one of isolation. Even the whispers of Sinlos have ceased. Suddenly, I realize through the fog the black sky is turning dark blue. Dawn is beginning to rise. At this point, there's no use in keeping up my strength. I sprint down the bridge, going faster and faster as I hold out for some sort of sign. Anything. Eventually I receive one. The silhouette of land peeks into my field of vision. I can scarcely believe it as I blink away the tears. With renewed spirit, I press down the bridge with increased spirit, desperately trying to outpace the sun. The glowing orb peeks into view against the obscured sky and begins to ascend unfeelingly. With each step, the sky brightens ever so slightly more. I race through the oppressive fog, and there's a voice in the distance. It isn't the horrifying sounds of monsters looming. It's Bemele. He's calling out for me. Bemele! I shout back to him from through the dark, foggy void. My voice comes out as a horribly weak wheeze between deep, shaky breaths. I'm almost certain he couldn't hear me. Ooh, I didn't even notice the sun peeking up over there. I'm not bothered by that, however. I will find him. I'm coming, Bemele. Please, just wait for me. I keep running against the increasing light, and his figure comes into view, here on the bridges. Bemele races toward me at high speed, and doesn't slow down when he gets near. He grabs hold of my side and supports my dropping frame as I slow to a stop. I barely choke out a sentence as I strain to catch my breath. Why are you here?
I was looking for you, of course. I knew you had to be nearby. You had to be.
Aww.
Don't worry over it.
He loves her.
I wasn't reckless enough to go in the dark. I waited until there was some sun and stayed on one path.
He grins at his own planning skills. I go cross at his risky behavior.
The bridges could have sunk.
Despite the admonishment, I'm terribly relieved to see him again. Especially since I died already once.
You are free to give me a proper lecture some other time. Right now, I'd say it's time for us to get out of this damned place. Are you still able to run?
I put all my weight back onto my feet and nod at him confidently, though my legs still lightly quake beneath me. Bemele gives me a reassuring smile, something I had come to believe I would never get to see again.
Don't worry, we're nearly there.
I provide a battered smile in return. The two of us tear across the bridges in the direction Bemele points out, and just as he promised, the end comes into view. Against all the odds, we both meet. Yeah, after a reload, I nearly tumble off the bridges onto solid ground. I crouch on the ground and lay my head between my legs, unable to stand. That's a weird position to imagine. I rest there quietly for a few moments, taking time to allow my breathing and emotions to settle down. Finally, I look up from my lap and see Benley standing ahead of me. Both of our eyes are flowing with tears. Benley walks over and sits down in the dirt nearby. He gazes deeply into my eyes with a gentle smile gracing his lips. Aw, he loves me. No words need to be exchanged between us to know what the other is thinking. I'm glad for it, because I'm not sure I would be able to speak even if I needed to. The sound of sloshing and wood lurching captured. Whoops, didn't mean to click there. With that, the guide walks toward me.
It is time to leave this place. There is nothing left for you here.
Upon being addressed by him, I rise to my feet. He has a calm look on his face, though there is force behind his serenity. I open my mouth in an attempt to speak. However, I quickly realize I have little idea of what to say. Do I thank him for this? Should I give him my trust? Was our survival because of him or despite him? Even now, I cannot know for certain. And then, the fog is removed from my thoughts. After everything that has happened, it becomes clear. A heart in my face to match his serious disposition. There's something he is certainly right of. This lake isn't a place to linger. Going round and round in circles will never help. We cannot submit our lives or our minds to Sinlos. For better or for ill, there's only one person who can help those once they are within its grasp, the guide. If he were removed, the place wouldn't be safe no longer. I don't know why I substituted that sentence the way I did. What I must do if I truly want to defend others is keep them from coming here at all. When I return to my village, I intend to make that information acutely known to our elder. For that to happen, we must leave.
Goodbye.
His eyes narrow as he looks over me. Does he know I died? I begin to feel uncomfortable under his scrutiny, but for a moment, I could swear I noticed him smiling slightly. However, it could easily be a trick of the morning sun. I look away to face Bemele, not wanting to get caught up in this any longer.
Bemele, we're leaving.
Is it me or did she say that differently? Bemele? He lifts his head at my voice and grins, though his expression quickly sours into a frown. He shows no eagerness to move forward and keeps his distance. He still feels regret that it is only us who are leaving. I empathize greatly with him, knowing that feeling is one we will never escape from, even after this lake is far behind us. However, he manages to weakly smile again.
Those words are music to my ears. Let's head out.
Bemele walks toward the forest without even acknowledging the guide. That is for the best, on the whole. We must get away from here. It saddened me to think Bemele doesn't even have the strength to become angry, though perhaps he had an epiphany about this lake in the same way that I did. We'll be able to discuss that on another occasion. Ooh, that's nifty artwork. She looks like I don't know, she looks strange from this angle. She doesn't look particularly, I don't know where I'm going with this. Despite the firmness I so intently tried to have, my heart starts to waver. Margaret, Lou, they're both still here. Don't really care about Lou, but Margaret, yeah. I wish to give them a proper farewell. Farewell! Can't even talk right. It's because I died. I'm still learning how to talk again. I want to do something. My eyes begin to water, and I almost turn back around. No, it is done. I need to remember that. They would never want me to ascribe their lives to Sinlos. Nothing would disgrace their memory more. I will keep them in my thoughts without allowing the lake to poison me. With my steadfastness truly regained, I march into the light with no hesitation. With a solemn heart, I at last arrived at Hemmer. They were grateful to see me, for it was a desperate situation indeed. The urgency meant that my mind was occupied with other matters. I worked tirelessly to aid Hemmer's own guards in forcing back the brigadiers, but during the moments of calm and when the sun went down, I would remember the lake. That's really nice artwork. Bemele was of great help during the fight. His outwardly positive demeanor lifted the spirits of many around him, but I could see from the shadows in his eyes that he hadn't forgotten what he went through. Nor could I miss the distance that had grown between us. He spoke fewer words to me, and I never gave him any either. Yet he seemed stronger than I had seen before. I admire him. So did going through the lake and letting those people die kind of ruin their friendship a bit? When receiving payments for his services, the guide must give a report of all those who both succeeded and failed to cross the lake. Aw, it's Margaret. The name and fate of Margaret soon became known in Hemmer. I added that she was an intelligent, thoughtful person, and urged them to show respect for her passing. I hope that one day I will have the opportunity to go to her hometown and give my own proper respects. His retelling of events had little to say of Lou. I know that this is blah blah blah. I know that is because he was not meant to be there and was never one to open up. But it still saddens me to face how I never truly got to know who he was. I don't really care about Lou, honestly. I can only pray that those who care for him will learn the truth of what happened. I have not heard nor seen the guide since then. He will remain obscured in that realm of fog and fear, a mysterious light off in the distance that is ever out of reach of the real world. I worry about when I must return home to my usual life. It will be difficult to continue as things were before. One thing I know for certain is that my village elder must be told that no one is to cross Sinless again. I have already told the Hemmer leaders the same. Not a single more person should have to experience what we did. Its darkness will remain with me for the rest of my days. Though so much was lost, I try to believe that our lessons will keep others from suffering the same way, and in the end, it doesn't even matter. This was a lovely, lovely visual novel. Developed by GB Patch Games. Ooh, the voice cast, this is what I'm interested in. The guide, Brendan Blabber, Elsie Lovelock. Lovelock is a really nice last name. Alyssa Park, Michael Poddick, Lou, who cares? Wow. All I can say is I'm really impressed by this visual novel. I thought it would be a little longer. I mean, it did take us, what is this, episode 6? 6 episodes to get through this? But, wow, a lot of people worked on this, huh? I expected more branching decisions, and I'm sure that comes with having more people survive the first night. So, I might have to play through this again on my own just to see what happens if everyone survives, or if it's possible for everyone to survive. I want to see what happens if Margaret survives. A lot of people worked on this game. Or are these just like people that tested it? I missed the prompt. Cake Game Lady. I love it. Lollipop. The Renp 7.0.0.196. You're very welcome. This was a lovely game. I recommend people absolutely play this. This is gonna. I was hoping for like a Marvel post-credit scene. Let's look at the gallery real quick. Oh, it's just the stuff we saw. So I'm guessing there's much more if people survive. Anyway, that wraps up Link of Voices. Let me know what you guys thought of the journey. Tell me what you would have done different. I can't really say anything else about this game that I already have, aside from you guys gotta try it yourselves. It's worth it. It's worth the couple of hours it takes to go through it. Loved the voice acting, loved the artwork. This game was lovely. It was lovely. It's a solid second place. First place still, the crown still goes to Doki Doki Literature Club. At any rate, this gets a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. I wish it was a little longer. I wish there were more decisions to make. But, as always guys, if you liked this adventure we just went on, hit the like and subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys would like to see me play in the future. Whether it's good or bad, I'm keen to play either kind. Good for the opportunity, bad for the laughs. So just let me know. As always, I've been Saturn, you guys have been awesome, and this has been Link of Voices. I'll see you guys in the next series on Steam Stuff. Later!